I'm Joanna. I love books. I love to read, and most of my geek loves come from books or from something that started as books or was related to books. I mean, I can trace a whole lot back through the Harry Potter fandom, which obviously books. So I'm gonna do the social media book tag today. First up is Twitter, my favorite short book. I picked Bilbo's Last Song by J.R.R. Tolkien, illustrated by Pauline Baynes. So it's actually a poem that was written as if it's from the point of view of Bilbo leaving on his last journey. And it starts off with him writing and everything. But what I love the illustrations. Pauline Baynes, if you don't know, did all the watercolor illustrations for the Chronicles of Narnia. So if you love those classic Narnia illustrations, you would love this. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Next up is Facebook, a book I was pressured into reading. Game of Thrones. This is a popular book. It's a popular TV show. I understand why it's popular and why people would like this, and theoretically, this is right in my genre. That being said, I don't really like Game of Thrones, but I did read it. I did read it. Next is Tumblr, a book I read before it was cool. And for that, I've picked one of my mini copies of The Hobbit. I mean, gotta fit a couple Tolkien books in here. But I read this, I snuck it off of my mom's shelf when I was in 5th grade, and this was long before the movies came out, but well after the heyday of the 60s and 70s when this stuff was first really popular. And I have loved Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all of it ever since then. Next is MySpace, a book I don't remember if I liked it or not. I picked The Giver by Lois Lowry. I know I read this book. I know I read it. I own it. Here it is. I do not remember. I remember a lot more about the movie, which I really enjoyed, than I remember about the book. I should probably read it again. That's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna read it again. Next is Instagram, a book so pretty that I have to Instagram it. And this one I don't think I've ever actually put on Instagram, but it is one of the prettiest books I own. It is the collector's edition, leather-bound edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's got gold leaf pages. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. And here's the best part. I found this in a bargain bin for $1. The slipcover is not in great shape. The book itself is in perfect condition. I paid $1 because somebody somewhere special ordered this thing and didn't pick it up. I know, right? For YouTube, I had to pick a book I wish would be turned into a movie, and I picked Robert Galbraith, J.K. Rowling's Silkworm. And I picked Silkworm, which is the second one, because my copy of Cuckoo's Calling, which is the first one in this series, is loaned out to a friend. But any of these about Cormoran Strike would be amazing. It's this great film noir type of thing, and I think it would translate to film really well. Surely there's some kind of option for this. Surely something is gonna come for this. I don't know. We'll see. This would be a great movie. Last but not least is Goodreads, which is a book I would recommend to you. Now, this one's pretty old and it is young adult, so you might have read it back in middle school, maybe even before, but I highly recommend Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. This was my first kind of horror story that I read when I was younger, and it is so good. That's it for me. I am going to tag all of you watching this video to do this tag. I would love to see what books you love, what books you have, and what books you'd recommend. Comment below if you've read any of the books I've mentioned. If you remember The Giver, tell me about The Giver or any of the others. Subscribe to Geek Girl Pen Pals on our YouTube channel. Until next time.